What's up, YouTube? My name is Jason, and this is my take. And I'm back with another video. And today we got another installment of From Worst to First, where I go through an artist's catalog and rank their albums. And today it's a very special video. We got Jermaine Cole, also known as J. Cole, in today's segment. And this is special because J. Cole, he has a special place in my heart. This is my favorite rapper. He's been my favorite for a long time. You know, being from North Carolina, Cole being from Fayetteville, it's a little biased there and just coming from the same place. But to see where he's gone and, you know, being one of the greatest to ever do it, like it's really great to see. And he always delivers from his technical ability, his storytelling, his flows, his production, his executive mind running the best labels in hip hop in Dreamville, to just how low key and humble he is as a person. Like, there's not a lot to hate about J. Cole, honestly. So in this video, we're going through his 6 solo albums and we're gonna rank them from worst to first. Now look, as much as I would love to put his breakout mixtape, arguably one of the best mixtapes I've ever heard, in Friday Night Lights, I'm not, it can't be a part of this video. Also in this video won't be any of the 3 Revenge of the Dreamers compilation tapes, including that amazing 3rd installment that came out in 2019. But let's not waste any time and let's jump right into it. It's only 6 here compared to, you know, the 9 or 10 from Drake and Kanye. So this won't be as long, but we definitely got some stuff to dive into. And let's start off at number 6 with KOD. And before I even dive into that, I do want to say that of these 6, like, I don't think that there's a bad album in here. But for me, it was pretty easy to put KOD in the final spot. And look, like I said, I do like this album, but the biggest thing for me when it came to this album was the delivery. Now, look, I really do feel like J. Cole was coming from a genuine place of worry and concern when it came to the discussion of addiction, especially when it came to drug addiction and its place in rap. But he didn't execute it the best. Just the way he was approaching it and trying to advise and guide, it's not the way that I would go about it. Like telling artists to meditate instead of medicate, like I get it, like that's a part of it, but like that's like the bare minimum. Like that itself may not be enough, especially when you think about just drug addiction and rap and just what a lot of people have faced. Like just hearing that line, like it is kind of cringe. And I honestly don't feel like Cole really like helped in progressing the conversation around this when it comes to awareness, as well as healthy coping mechanisms and ways of healing when it comes to this sort of thing. So it was a little disappointing in that regard. But honestly, we still got bangers on this thing like ATM. I love Kevin's Heart. And 1985 was just one of the most brilliant songs in Cole's catalog, to be honest. Just in the fact that the premise of 1985, we're seeing it play out with a lot of rappers like a Lil Pump or a Smoke Perp, just in how Cole was talking about, you know, that fall off and how rappers can survive. It was like he was dissing younger rappers, but he wasn't at the same time. He was like kind of advising them. And those same rappers that dissed him are the same ones who have fallen victim to that fall off type of curse. Look, there were disappointing elements to this thing, but just Cole and just what he brings to rap and what makes him great was still here. So it didn't make it a bad album, just a little disappointing. Number 5 on the list, we got Cole World, the Sideline Story. And this is Cole's debut album. We got big songs from Cole that still hit to this day, you know, whether it's Can't Get Enough, Work Out, In the Morning, Who Dat. He tells some interesting stories on tracks like Never Told, Lost Ones, Breakdown. And it was a great debut. I think he like debuted number 1 and like beat out Watch the Throne by like Ye and Jay-Z when it came out, which was just incredible. Honestly, this ranks 5th in a pretty low spot just because of where Cole was, honestly, compared to the other albums. Cole wasn't as mature of a rapper as we know him to be. And you could kind of hear that in a lot of songs here. And it's honestly weird hearing some of the songs on here because, for one, they didn't age as well. Also, this just wasn't who Cole would consistently be. If people like just listen to the new stuff Cole put out and then they went back and listened to Cole World, the Sideline Story here, like I feel like a lot of people would be shocked at what they heard. But the greatness in this album was just the hunger. Like you could hear how much Cole wanted it. But I love that I still, can come back to this album to this day and play some of what were his best tracks and some of his most memorable to this day. Number 4 on the list is Cole's most recent album, that being 2021's The Off Season. And this was kind of unexpected in how things played out with this album, because 3 albums before this, Cole was dropping platinum albums with no features and mainly him on production, but he teams up with producers such as Timberland, DJ Dahi, Boy Wonder, and he has features on here again. We get 2 or 3 like vocal performances from Boz that were amazing. Lil Baby jumped in for one of the best features on the album, arguably. 21 Savage and Cole team up again. It was like over more trap production here as well. It really takes me back to 2018 when he was on that run of features, just going in on every track that he hopped on. And it seems like he brought that into this album to be like, it doesn't matter what type of production you give me, I can rap over anything. And really just showing the versatility even at an older age in the game. And, I wasn't expecting this, but I'm really glad that Cole went this route to really just remind people that no one does it like he does it, as he rapped about for like a minute or 2 at the end of Applying Pressure, which was one of the funnier moments on the album. And this was, like I said, this was a great moment. And as Cole is, putting the pieces together for these final few records before he ends things, like, we got to really take in all of this and just remember that, this is one of the greatest and it can't be questioned at this point. At number 3, we got 2016's For Your Eyes Only. On these 10 tracks, I had no idea what Cole was doing until the final song. That being that he was rapping from the perspective of a hometown friend who passed away. The whole time it was told from his eyes. And that blew my mind. And I spoke on storytelling being one of the reasons why Cole is just one of the greatest. And this was peak storytelling J. Cole. He touches on fatherhood, a crooked system, that's set up for, people in Fayetteville, specifically Black people, struggling to not make it. And also enjoyed how Cole interweaves his own experiences into these stories, as well as Cole also is a father. He is a new father at this point. He tells a really interesting story about the police raiding his North Carolina home because his neighbors thought that he was selling drugs out of his house. And man, the outro and title track is just one of my favorite Cole songs of all time, that just tells his friend's story from start to finish. And it's I just feel like I'm right there. I can see everything that's happening. And that takes pure talent to be able to paint a picture like that. And yeah, this is the first vinyl I ever got. This was for sure a moment in Cole's catalog, and another album that went platinum with no features. We're down to our final 2, and at number 2, I got 2013's Born Sinner. Now, in conversations with a lot of people, this is the album that people typically say is number 1. And I honestly understand it. Prior to Off Season, I would say that this is his most accessible record. I really thought that the stories that Cole was telling on this project were amazing. Whether it's lust and infidelity on tracks like She Knows and Forbidden Fruit with Kendrick Lamar, who I still wish had a verse on that song, to discussions on race and class on songs like Runaway and Rich, to materialism on Training Day, which is still, in my opinion, one of Cole's best produced tracks. I love that song so much. This man made a whole song apologizing to Nas for chasing success in that mainstream hit on the song Let Nas Down. It really just showed how much Cole was just a student of the game and really had respect for those before him and wanted to be just like them, and could admit that maybe he didn't go about that the right way. This takes me back to junior year of high school. This and Nothing Was the Same were the only albums I was playing. And it really, cemented Cole just being my favorite, one of my favorites. And this album aged well. I still can play it to this day, no problems. And so that obviously means that at the number 1 spot, in my opinion, Cole's best album is 2014 Forest Hills Drive. From the moments on here to the album cover, this is just an iconic record in my opinion. Everything that I could want from J. Cole, I got on this album. And just from a production standpoint, this is arguably his best work. You get songs that are deep and touching, like "03 Adolescence," "Love Yours," "Apparently." Songs that you can just blast in your car and let it ride, like "GOMD," "No Role Models," "Tale of Two Cities." And this was the first album that got started the whole platinum with no features with these albums. And honestly, he didn't need features. Like that was always, a complaint from critics or different people, that it was just him, but who needed to be on here? And I think it's crazy because this is only 13 tracks, but it runs over an hour and it doesn't feel like it. It flows smoothly. It never feels like a drag. And Cole went in like only he can. And, being able to witness, Cole on tour, like performing this album live in Fayetteville in his home, it was one of the best concert experiences I could ever have. Not to mention he brought out Drake and Jay-Z. So it was absolutely insane. The way that Cole just goes about creating these albums, the thought, the attention, the detail that he puts into these beats, into his lyrics and these stories, he's truly one of a kind. And, I dread the day that he decides to call it quits, because he was one of the best to ever do it. And so, guys, that is my ranking of J. Cole's albums from worst to first. Tell me what you guys thought. What will be your list? Tell me, rank J. Cole's albums in the comments and let's have a discussion about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this week of Jason's Take. Got more videos coming for you guys next week. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm Jason. This has been my take, and I'll see you next time.